Here's Marv for AKB0048, next stage, episode 9, so let's get into this. So this week's episode of AKB0048, a very good episode. I really enjoyed this episode. You know, Michan for the win. Michan for the win. So, with that being said, you might give a little bit of summarization, my thoughts and opinions on the episode, and so on and so forth. So yeah, let's get into this. So the first part of this episode already, something happens, is Nagisa's father, he ends up getting transferred, and basically the dude, Zodiac was the one that transferred him, and the dude was all taunting him, basically saying, you know, you're gonna meet your daughter soon anyway. So, you know, we finally get to talk to her while she's in jail and stuff. So, like, I think that kind of bothered him right there. That right there bothered him. But the other thing that happened in this episode is Michan herself. She's finally there. AKB didn't, like, some of the understudies and some of the assessors didn't, like, trust her, or at least trust what she said anyway. So they were kind of iffy about her and everything like that. So they wanted to confront her, and they started talking. So they revealed a lot of things that was going on. So the first thing that gets revealed is that Michan lost her radiance, and how she lost it basically is that she was about to become a Supernova. Like, the moment she was about to become a Supernova, I'm guessing there was like Kararas or something. I'm not really sure what the heck that was, but there was some shining lights coming to her face, like, come here, baby, come here, you're going to be a Supernova, I'm going to make you shine. And she's like, no, and she ran away. And basically, if you do not accept the Supernova position, you lose your all your radiance, so you don't even have the Karara or anything anymore. You just lose all of it, and that's why she became, you know, a photographer. The next thing that gets revealed is that there is another dimension, basically, for Supernovas. If you become a Supernova and accept the position, you will go into another dimension, basically, which is where Yuko went, which is where also Akshan went. And the thing is, there's a way to save them because they are alive, so that's a good thing to know. And Michan wanted to actually save Akshan and the rest of the Supernovas that got to that dimension, which is why she worked with Zodiac to actually get all this together just to open the gates to then save the other Supernovas. So, you know, she had a purpose in what she was trying to do. It just wasn't the best idea. After hearing all this, Nagisa wants to become a Supernova to actually go into the gates to save Yuko. So she's gonna get a power up. By the way, the Delirium can actually link their worlds or their dimensions together, which means the Supernova dimension and within the world they are in now, with the Delirium, they can connect it together. Crazy stuff. Zodiac wanted the Delirium, and they also wanted the Kararas. Basically wanted to capture AKB and use them for military purposes, because apparently the Kararas, they helped advance technology when it came to the teleportation system in the ships, so they can teleport through space or warp through space. So that's kind of crazy right there. I didn't expect that. One side note, apparently Sensei also actually wanted to save the other Supernovas. All this together, from the general elections to having the Supernova position now, all this was to come together to be able to actually save the Supernovas that are in the other dimension. So at the end of this episode, Des is attacking AKB. They're having a little bit of trouble, and that's where Michan ends up getting the machine, and basically she ends up trying to hold off Des. And the thing is, this was supposed to be her graduation concert for herself anyway. She wanted to free herself from this and just basically kind of just do suicide in a sense. She was holding them off till they can actually teleport and escape. But then Takamina's like, nuh-uh, you ain't going anywhere. Takamina ends up saving Michan, and that's how the episode basically ends right there. And it was a nice ending. I actually liked it a lot. You know, Michan really went in. Yeah, like I said, this is a really good episode. I really did enjoy this episode. A lot of information was in this episode, which is why I wanted to do a summarization for it. And so I want to touch upon a few things that happened in this episode. And the first thing I want to touch upon is basically the dimensions, how they're going to save Yuko and Akshan, and what Nagisa is going to do about it, basically. Like, how they're going to do all this together when it comes to this dimension and Supernova business. Because I'm very curious about this. And the thing is, the dance instructor makes a very, 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 very good question. And that question is, do the Supernova people, the people that got sent to that dimension, want to be saved? That's a very good question, because couldn't they just break themselves out? Because, I mean, if you think about it, I mean, shouldn't they have enough radiance? Like, both Yuko and Akshan are in there right now, in the other dimension. Couldn't they possibly both come together and make that dimension open at some point then? I mean, she just got in there, of course, so, you know, I don't know. But, I mean, I'm just saying, even Akshan alone should be able to open the gates again, because all they need is enough radiance to be able to open the gates. And they have enough. So, like, couldn't they just get out already immediately, unless something's blocking them from leaving, unless they don't want to leave. So I'm just curious about that as well. So I'm wondering if there's a way to actually save them. But and the thing when it comes to saving them, that's the other thing. I'm curious, because the thing is, Nagisa says she wants to become a Supernova and try to be able to save Yuko. But even if you become a Supernova and open the gates, wouldn't you just fall into the same position as Yuko just did and just get locked up in there as well? You know what I'm saying? Like, you can go into the gates, but then they'll get will close on you. Then you're stuck there just like the rest of them. So I don't see how that can save them unless it's opened up by a different means. And what I mean by this, and I think this is what's gonna happen. I think this is my predictions. This is my predictions for the next couple episodes, because I think there's 3 episodes left, which kind of sucks. But you know what I think is gonna happen is that both Nagisa and Charity, they're gonna combine their radiance together, and then they're gonna open up the gates that way. They're gonna simulate basically enough radiance like a certain Nova would have. Basically, I think that's what's gonna happen. Because if you think about it, Yuko said that both of them together has enough radiance, just as much radiance as Akshan did. Basically, and I'm thinking that's what's gonna happen, and they're gonna open up the gates, and that's a different means of opening up the gates. So maybe that's how they can get out of there then. So I think that's how they'll probably end up saving them. It's either that, or they'll use the Delirium to actually be able to connect both dimensions together. But that doesn't sound like a good idea or a good plan, because 2 dimensions coming together, I don't know if that would work out properly. That seems like something bad would happen. So I don't know. Also, I like the development that happened in this episode when it came to Michan. You know, we needed development for her, and I like how her character got fleshed out within this episode. That was really good about this episode too. So plot progression was really there in this episode. It really went up in here. A lot of information was said in this episode. I really did enjoy that part of this episode. It was really good. It was really good. I like the animation in this episode. It was solid, very solid. And you know, I look forward to seeing more of AKB0048. Last 3 episodes, so 3 episodes. I'm looking forward to them. So leave your comments below, tell me what you think of the episode, like this review, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see some more AKB0048 next stage reviews from me. So it's been the Thabreakmaster, and until then, people, break out.